So my name is Hallie, and I'm an international student from Hong Kong. I'm currently studying a Bachelor of Nutrition Science in my third year.
I'm Mehek, and I'm an international student from India.
I'm Wendy, and I'm from Malaysia. This is my third year here in Melbourne.
I would say a balanced meal, a balanced daily intake will have like right amounts of high fiber grains, good fats, and healthy veggies, green veggies or different color veggies, and good source of protein. I feel like the best method for this is using the plate method. Half of your plate should be filled with non-starchy vegetables like broccoli, carrots, or peas, and 1/3 of it with high fiber grains and 1/3 with protein.
Yeah, the plate method is like a very easy method, but I feel like at the same time, people, if you're very new to nutrition or you just start kind of taking care of your health, you might not know what certain food groups or like what certain food you should have. So one thing we use a lot in our workshop or in our lecture would be the Australian Guide to Healthy Eating. If you just search it out, there should be a whole pie chart. At the same time, I feel like a balanced eating, we've talked so much about like proportion and stuff, but I feel like there's a difference between being conscious of how you eat than just like really just care about the amount and all that. I guess I know some people who really would weigh their food. I feel like there's nothing wrong with that if you're like a bodybuilder or if you're just really interested in your intake. But we should also be conscious the way we approach food and the way that we see food could have on our mental health. So I would say a balance is not only about the actual food itself, but also the way we approach and think about our daily diet. So, yeah.
Everyone talks a lot about like cutting carbs or something like that, cutting some certain food. I feel is not really necessary for being healthy. I feel like eating everything in moderation, even sweets, is the perfect way to go. Cutting carbs or cutting certain foods can really sometimes have a very harmful impact on you.
A lot of people, when they talk about nutrition, I often tell them that my perspective about nutrition, it's not solely just losing weight. Because a lot of people I know be like, oh, I need to follow this diet so I can lose weight within 1 week. I'm like, bro, it's not that simple.
I feel like a lot of people just want result really quick. Like maybe they have, like Wendy said, they have like an event in a few weeks. So that's when they started to take care of their nutrition. I feel like that's why a lot of myths and misconceptions on food, like maybe carbs are bad to your health and all that, are so viral because people just want a very quick solution without putting in effort. They want the result, but not the progress.
And also, it can be bad, negatively impact your body as well. If after 1 week, let's say you successfully cut down 3 kgs, but then after a week, when you go back into your usual diet, you'll rebound, and then it's hard for you to lose that weight again.
Nutrition is not just nutrition itself. It's tied to a lot of things. It's very easy for people to do it just for physical health, because I feel like that's like the most visible and tangible things, such as numbers and all that. Whereas eating is actually can be related to social, because you eat with other friends and family. So the way you eat and feed food can very closely impact your mental health. Some people approach to nutrition, it's like doing a math question. They want to have like a correct answer, like they want the perfect solution to everything. But nutrition is kind of more complicated to that. I personally feel like there is the best or the perfect diet, but more just how nutrition can fit into your lifestyle and your personal preference. I feel like it's easier to view nutrition in a more holistic way, like a more broad perspective, instead of just thinking it's food, but thinking of it, I personally would think of how can I adapt it into my lifestyle in the long term instead of just for that few weeks in for that certain event, because it's for your health, it's for yourself, you're doing it good, not for anybody else but for yourself. Even if you have a boba bubble tea, very popular for new students, or even you have a box of chips. Like I feel like that's when a lot of people put themselves down. Like they feel guilt and they feel bad for eating certain food because they feel like those food are bad and that doesn't fit into a healthy diet, which may not necessarily be the case. It's just one meal and it won't possibly not affecting you for the rest of your life. So especially during festive season, maybe Christmas or when you're celebrating with your family, you may have a lot of food that are, I don't know, for mooncake festival, then you may have mooncake, which is also very high in calorie and all that. And people might restrict themselves, but at the same time, I feel like people can feel it in a way that you enjoying food, not just for the food, but also enjoying the social connection. So even if you had certain so-called not healthy food, I feel like it'd be easier for you, your physical health and your mental health to just move on and not feel guilty and not feel bad for what you eat. Because if you have enjoyed the meal, I feel like that's like one of the very most important thing about eating and just nutrition in general. That would be my take on that.
I want to let people, especially people who are close to me, to have a different perspective in nutrition. Like I hope that they can be more open-minded and welcoming in new foods in their diet. It's kind of it's too black and white. There's so much things that we can deep into in the gray space of a certain food. I just want people to know when they are taking care of their nutrition, it's not solely focusing on that specific nutrient. It's the whole diet and also their lifestyle that's impacting their health. Yeah.
Because of COVID, a lot of us couldn't go back to our home country. It was kind of stuck in Melbourne. And some of us did not really know what to do. And Tammie kind of came up with an idea of having an internship experience for all of us. So Tammie talked to Marin, a PhD student. She kind of discovered a problem or situation that a lot of international students face is when they are coming overseas and living alone. A lot of them may not have the accessibility or do not know how to really cook for themselves. So based on this situation, we are given a lot of freedom and a little bit of budget just to kind of develop some resource for them.
Tammie actually made this internship a very safe environment for us to express ourselves and to discover our potential. This internship, like the people, we all became very close and it almost became like a family. It really helped to get over that homesickness as well.